Long ago, when the sun still rose to the chant of griots and kingdoms rose like baobab trees, there was a village nestled at the edge of the great Oyo Empire. It was called Ile Afefe, meaning House of the Wind. Among its dusty paths and spirited people lived a girl whose name would echo like a drumbeat across time, Ifokanbale. She was not born of royalty, nor bathed in riches. Her mother was a weaver of palm mats, her father a humble storyteller. But Ifokanbale had a gift. She could hear rhythm in everything: the leaves, the rain, the silence. From the age of 5, she fashioned her first drum from goat hide and calabash. But in Ile Afefe, only men drummed. Women danced. That was the way. But Ifokanbale, she danced to the beat of her own future. At 14, her talent could no longer hide in shadows. Each night, when the men left the sacred grove after drumming, she would sneak in and play. Her hands danced faster than fire. Her heart would soar as the spirits of ancestors, wind and memory wrapped around her. One night, Prince Akinyele, returning from battle, rode through the grove and heard the rhythms, so soulful, so divine. He dismounted silently and hid behind the thick iroko trees. What he saw stunned him. A girl, drumming, and not just drumming, awakening the earth. The moonlight kissed her skin. Her eyes were closed, lost in rhythm, body swaying like a reed in the breeze. He didn't dare interrupt. He watched until the final beat faded into the trees, then left with his heart trembling. Days turned into weeks. Akinyele returned each night, silently watching. Then, one night, he stepped into the clearing. Ifokanbale froze. Fear gripped her chest. A man had seen her, a royal. She would be punished, or worse. But the prince knelt and said, "Don't stop." The ancestors themselves danced to your hands. That night their connection began, not of words, but of understanding. He told her stories of war and duty. She spoke of dreams and drums. Their worlds were different, but their souls sang the same song. In secret, love blossomed. The Oyo Empire was mighty, but uneasy. War loomed in the north. The king, aging and ill, demanded his son marry Lady Moronkeji, daughter of a feared warlord. It was a political union, no room for love. Akinyele's refusal caused unrest. "I already love another," he confessed. "Who?" the king thundered. "She is a drummer," Akinyele whispered. The court gasped. A female drummer? From a village? Lady Moronkeji, proud and cunning, smiled. "Then let the gods choose," she said. "Let her drum before the spirits. If they accept her, she may wed a prince." The king, amused and angry, agreed. A test, a humiliation, or so they thought. Ile Afefe had never seen such a day. From every direction, nobles, warriors, and commoners gathered beneath the sun. The spirits would judge Ifokanbale. Akinyele stood beside her, defiant. Moronkeji sat in royal robes, certain of her victory. Ifokanbale stepped forward. Before the ancestors, before tradition, she knelt and touched her drum, her eyes closed. And she began. The rhythm rose like morning thunder. It told of forgotten queens, of warrior women, of river gods and freedom. The winds turned. Birds fell silent. Even the king leaned forward. When she finished, there was no applause. Only tears. Then, a white egret landed on her drum, a sacred omen. The people knelt. She is chosen. But power never dies quietly. That night, while drums still echoed in hearts, Moronkeji vanished. 3 days later, war erupted in the north. Whispers said she had betrayed the empire, joining her father's army out of spite. Akinyele rode to battle, torn between love and duty. Ifokanbale was left behind, now honored but watched. The royal court feared her power. Then came the news. Akinyele's battalion had vanished. No survivors. The prince was gone. Ifokanbale's world shattered. She refused to believe. She drummed by the river for days, hoping the spirits would answer, and one night they did. The wind changed. Akinyele returned, not dead, but wounded and broken. Betrayed from within. Moronkeji had led them into a trap. Ifokanbale nursed him back to strength. But he was different, haunted, angry, ashamed. "I failed them," he whispered. "I failed you." "You're alive," she said. "The drum still beats. So must you." They knew peace would never be easy. The court wanted him to forget her, to rebuild the alliance. But the people, they remembered her rhythm. They sang her songs. Children drummed in her name. The old world was changing. Under the gaze of ancestors and moon, Akinyele and Ifokanbale married, not in palace halls, but beneath the iroko trees where they first met. She wore red, the color of fire. He wore white, the color of peace. Their vows were sealed not with rings, but with rhythm, each tapping a drum in harmony. The kingdom watched. Some wept, others protested, but most danced. Ifokanbale became the first woman royal drummer, but she was more. She taught girls to drum, to speak, to dream. She told stories of resistance, love, and the power of choosing your own fate. Akinyele ruled beside her, justly, fiercely, and with humility. Together they reshaped Oyo, not through swords, but through song. And today, in quiet villages, when the wind rustles the trees just right, you can still hear it. The drum of her heart. Moral of the story: love does not follow rules. It creates new rhythms. And courage, when paired with purpose, can rewrite even the oldest traditions.